coffee with banana on it, so let's taste. It's good. That one's for later, so go ahead and fridge.
Oh, hello. Welcome. How are you? It is Tuesday, February the 10th. Oh, in case you're curious. Today I decided to treat myself. I went to Starbucks. I don't know. I wanted to try the silly little matcha with the banana stuff on it, and it's pretty good actually. I feel pretty decent about it. So I needed a little pick-me-up. It's like a late birthday present to myself because I turned 26 this past Sunday. And for my birthday, guess what I did? A whole lot of nothing. And it was great. It was a great birthday gift. It's exactly what I needed. But as the rules of life go, the consequences of giving yourself a day off is that you don't do anything and nothing gets done, right? Not a big deal, but we're trying to ease back into it. I feel like I'm always trying to ease back into it. Honestly, since I finished since I finished Act 1, Draft 2, like, I've been in limbo. I've been trying to figure out where I want to go from here. I haven't necessarily felt stuck. I've just felt like there have been multiple different paths I could take, and I haven't really had a good, like, solid plan that I've felt good about. And, you know, the plot thickens, and I've been feeling very much like this project is so much bigger than me at this point, which it's not unmanageable or anything. It feels really big and overwhelming and very daunting. And so I kind of took a step back from that feeling, and I've been trying to figure out how I want to tackle this next step in the process, and what do I do? Where do I go from here, and what's the most beneficial thing I could do, right? I noticed a few things about, I guess, my overall like attitude, and like this is a lot of information, but I do feel like where I'm at in my cycle, like where the moon is in the sky and the stars, like affects how much I work and for how long and like to what level of intensity. Like there's some weeks where I'm just a beast and I'm knocking out tasks and I'm doing amazing. And then there are weeks where it is like pulling teeth just to get me out of bed. And I don't think that that's entirely my fault. I think some of that is just the ebb and flow, the rising and falling tides of being a woman. Honestly, I feel like that's valid. And I have to remind myself of that I'm not like a broken machine, or like I'm not out of creativity or something. I'm probably just at the point in my month where everything feels like it weighs 10 pounds more than it normally does. I'm not weak, things just feel heavier. And it has everything to do with hormones. Okay, so I kind of feel like that's attributing to some of like the slowdown that I'm feeling, but also I am sensing this is also kind of a process that I've never really done in this way before. Like I've kind of mentioned that I've written a full book, a few drafts of a full book before, but never has it been this organized. The way that I'm attacking this book is a step up in terms of like organization and process than I have done in the past. I think that in the past it's been a draft was written once, then rewritten, and then like I didn't do any revision. I just kept rewriting it and changing it. And the last time I wrote that draft, it took me a long time. I finished it middle of last year. Honestly, I don't even know. I'd have to go back, but like I remember when I finished it and I was like, okay, we're done. And then I wrote a first draft for this book extremely fast. The fastest that I've ever written a first draft. It was like about 6 months, I think, give or take. I wrote that first draft, and now I'm trying to get into draft 2, and that's a whole different thing. It is kind of a rewrite in some ways, but really, no, I haven't rewritten this book before. This is a straight line from like draft 1 to draft 2 with like some developmental overhauls, but like as far as a storyline, no, it's staying true to its outline. It's a different kind of process that I haven't done before, is basically what I'm trying to get at. And I think that lends itself to a little bit of feeling like I'm trying to feel my way through the dark. I'm trying to do a lot of things, honest to God. Like, maybe I should pick a struggle, but like, I'm trying to learn my process. I'm trying to figure out how to grow myself. And I'm like, man, journey before destination. But man, oh man, do I wish that I was already the person who knew how to do this. I wish I was closer to the finish line. I do. I wish that I knew what I was doing already, and that these things that I'm bumping up against, like, I would already know how to solve the problem. However, this is that place where I'm learning how to solve the problem that I have, like, that's valuable. Like, I gotta have it. I can't know those things until I go through these things. So anyway, this is just a rambling answer, honestly, when we're not yapping. I feel like I've never done this before. This is all very new. I feel pretty unsure. I also am trying to kind of follow my instincts and my gut, and like, if I make a plan and I don't like the plan anymore, like, I'm not gonna stay married to the plan that I don't like, because that sounds like torture. So change the plan, right? I'm doing a lot of things. Anyway, point is, we're trying to figure out what we're doing post Act 1, Draft 2, trying to figure out what to do, if anything, with the notes that I've already received from my lovely people in my writers group who have gone above and beyond. Honestly, 3 different people have read at least chapter 1 in the prologue and have given really helpful notes that I desperately needed. The first time I'm ever getting feedback on a book. And you might think that this is a little too early to receive feedback in a draft. And that thought crossed my mind too, but again, I've written several drafts of a book before and never once received feedback.
Okay, editing Carrie. I keep saying never have I received. Okay, this is like partly true. I did like pay someone at one point to read the first like 5,000 words. I did this back in the beginning of the channel, and the main thing was she sent me a resource on dialogue, how to do paragraphs for dialogue, and it was just mostly like, I really like it. When I say like actual feedback on my writing, this is what I'm talking about, where it's like a line by line edit. This is the first time I'm getting that kind of feedback. Does that make sense? Okay. I feel the need to clarify.
On said drafting. So in the grand scheme of how long I've been writing, I've never received creative feedback. And so I kind of hit a little bit of a stone wall where it's like, I don't know where my weak spots are. I don't know where my strengths are. I don't know how any of this is landing. I don't know what I'm doing that's repeated. That's like a sticking point. Like, I'm trying to see this forest through the trees and I can't. I needed feedback at some point. Like, at this point, I feel like it was necessary. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I rewrite chapter 1 before I submit it to beta, since I already know some really good notes? And I'm honestly leaning towards yes, rewrite chapter 1 with the feedback from my writers group in mind, so that I can submit something fresh and just a little bit more fleshed out to a beta, and like only do it to chapter 1. Because at this point, I don't think that the beta will say much different. Or do I, in case they do say something different? Honestly, considering that 3 people basically have some of the same things to say, I kind of doubt that I would get different feedback from a professional beta. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my instinct. Okay, so I don't know what to do. I'm still, to rewrite or not to rewrite. I don't know. I haven't made a decision, but that will come around. I'm doing something different today. I brought this baby out. It's time to bring back the monthly goals and something. I just need something to ground me. So we've brought back the tiny whiteboard. I need to check this off. And I think today is, we're going to work on the world building checklist. And honestly, I think that's going to be the focus of my week, is the world building checklist. So what I did last night, I made a quick little note. It is 7 lists. 7 things. There are some like miniature points inside the big points, but yeah, they're about 7 things. I have identified them as sticking points, things that I need to flesh out, figure out, all the good things of the out. And so that's what I'm gonna, now how this writing session is gonna work is I'm probably gonna have my world building Bible open for a lot of this. I might have a mind dump document while I'm just trying to figure things out. I have considered doing this on paper, and then once I have a good idea, then that will, once something feels right, that will be what goes in the world building Bible. And I'm considering that over just typing away, because I feel like I'll be more in tune to what my thoughts and feelings about something are as I write them down. So I think I might be using some legal pad, and I might be going about world building that way. But TBD, like, who knows? And like, I don't know why my stomach is growling so much, but if you hear that, I'm so sorry. I've eaten, I swear. So we're gonna set that on the whiteboard. That's my little checky list. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I've rambled a lot. I think I've rambled enough. I think that that's what I'm gonna do from this point forward. At some point today and tomorrow, I need to finish editing a video and upload it. But I'm feeling very lazy with the editing, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I got myself a happy little matcha. I'm gonna start working my way through this world building list. And I'm also kind of piloting a little bit of a writing routine flip up to try and keep things lively. And what I land on will be an upcoming vlog, upcoming video. So I'm piloting some new writing routine situation. So more on that to come. Is there anything else we need to talk to you guys about? I really don't think so. This is the journey. So come along if you want. You don't have to, but I'd like you to be here. Okay.
Well, I fell off the map a little bit, but we're trying to make a comeback. Everything's fine. Nothing happened. It's just life. Life happened. I think that's it, which is normal. Life happening is normal. Anyway, last time you saw me, I was world building. I'm planning on world building again today, some more. Did I make progress? Ish. I made progress-ish. It's fine. We're gonna go from there. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure out this camera. I don't know. I feel like I just adjusted some settings that made things better. Don't know if that's true, but I tried. Anyway, so here we are. Also, I need to edit and upload a video. I have been so lazy, so lazy. Hopefully this will be up today. So my goals for today is February the 13th. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. My goals for today are to do some more world building, which is just time with me and my notebook and some paper and pen. And I would like to finish editing this video. I will say that I haven't been up to nothing. I did read up to about the 60% mark in Kingdoms of Death. And I think this book, I think Kingdoms of Death is my favorite so far. And that's big talk, and I say that about every book. I've said that about each one except for Howling Dark. No, I think I did too. I think I liked Howling Dark more than I liked Demon in White. I don't know. I'm gonna need to go through and actually like review how I felt. I don't know. I think those are gonna all be rereads at some point. I don't know. But I feel like overall right now, Kingdoms of Death is my favorite. Don't know why. It's pretty difficult to read because so many bad things are happening, but it's a little bit off topic. But I'm probably going to finish that this weekend if I'm being honest. And if I am any sort of focused on anything other than world building, video editing, it'll hopefully I'll be reading and not like scrolling. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Okay? Okay. See ya. It is 2:49, February 15th. I have been kind of sitting on YouTube for a little bit, actually. Not doing much of anything. Just watching YouTube and chatting on Discord has been what I've been doing for the past, like, I don't know, maybe hour. I realize, oh, this is why I don't have time for anything. Dum-dum. This is why I don't have time for anything. Point is, it's time to do something. I did a little bit of trying to get kind of immersed, trying to get inspired. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, so I spent that day fully with my lover and just didn't come up here to hole up. So I'm still trying to figure out how to balance things. I'm not very good at this. It's like I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I'm very bad at like spending small amounts of focus time doing things. I'm like big chunk of time, go at it full speed and then repeat. And that's my like habit for the past
several months. But what I've been trying to do is like have smaller amounts of time that are more focused instead of just like pedal to the metal all day long the second I get home from work, which I know I can do. But it's like not realistic for me to do that all day, every day, all year, forever. Especially because, as I've mentioned, like there are other things that I want to focus time on, and I'm not focusing that time because I'm only doing one thing always. This is part of that, trying to get more of a routine down. So it's around 2:50, and around 10 minutes, 15 minutes will be approximately the time that I am home after the workday. This is when I would normally come upstairs and just start working on my novel. I am in the middle of trying to world build. I have a little list of things that I want to figure out. Started this top one, and it's kind of led me on a little bit of a rabbit hole, but that's fine. Said rabbit hole is a good rabbit hole. And I think it's opening up some things that I can change with character. I'm good with that. I'm gonna skip these 2 bullets and go straight down to my next star, and because those are the top things that I need to sort out. I have Pinterest open, so I've got the visual mood, very visual, so it's nice to kind of see images that are a little bit inspiring. My beef with Pinterest though is that it is so hard now to find images like this that are not flagged for AI. Even the ones that are not flagged for AI, like I know there's plenty that are probably still AI, even though they're not flagged. And that's really annoying. I hate that. I prefer to be able to draw my own stuff, but I gotta be real. I tried drawing my own stuff. I guess I just assume that I'm gonna be like really good at it without even trying, but it's really frustrating actually. I tried to draw like a perspective shot because I'm not finding a lot of stuff for ground level, a little place in my sci-fi world. I'm not finding good images or like anything that has anything to do with said setting. So I was trying to get the vibe, and this is what we have. It's sort of like whatever, it's just a sketch of nothing really, but like this is the ability level we're working with here, where I don't have any skill and I can sort of make things look far away and close up, but like scale, color theory, like get out of here. So I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't have artistic skills, and I would love some. Also, I drew a diagram. This is something that I was working on a few days ago. I think I mentioned it. Anyway, looks like this. The picture that I drew that looks like ass, it's of this level right here. I love it. I love Tombstone. I think Tombstone is like the coolest city ever. I just, how it functions, how it looks. Like I got broad strokes and I'm trying to zoom in on the minutia and the details, like the people and what are they doing? What does crime look like? Because I kind of go on a little bit of a rant about it, and readers were like, but like, why do you have to tell me that? Trying to get more of a visual on that because I haven't done that. Anyway, so anyhow, it's a rainy day. It's, you know, the lighting in here is dark because it's rainy. I'm gonna put in some music and try to get a little bit more detail oriented with some things, and then I'm gonna try and tackle this plot point. And it's a biggin. I don't have any ideas. I keep trying to come up with some and I just keep falling short, really. So I'm gonna make some headway. I think if I went into a rewrite, I would know better what to do with the bullet point, this one. So I think I'm ready to move on to another one and start trying to tease that apart. And I think I need to crack open a character a little bit more and figure out how things work in outer space, man. It's so fun. It really is. It takes a lot of time, and it's not like I'm sitting here typing. Like, it's not interesting to watch, but it's what I'm doing. So we're gonna see. I love the state that my second draft is in, but it is so messy. I can add more to speed the plot in Act 2, and I think when I figure some of this stuff out, I can do just that, and I'm ready for it. Also, can we talk about how I did flag something in the plot for Kingdoms of Death before it was confirmed, which made me feel really smart. But at this point, like, I don't know, like, we know how the story ends because he opens with that. It's like Romeo and Juliet. He kind of spoils the ending. How does he get out of this? I don't even know. Anyone reading Kingdoms of Death? I'm at like the midpoint, like right at the midpoint, and I'm like, how does he even survive this? I don't, like, how? Like, I know he survives, but like, how? Mind blown. Anyway, okay, that's rant over. Rant equals over. What am I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some world building. Do you see how I just zone out? Anyway, okay, bye. Hi. Okay, it's 2:30, Monday, February 16th. It's been a work from home day, so that's been nice. It is now the time. Now, just for the sake of clarity, like I've been up here for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Had lunch and come up here around 2 o'clock today. I also did a little bit of reading at around 11. So I've been doing things around here. Really, here's the dilemma, and it keeps coming up. I've received feedback on chapter 1 and the prologue in draft 2, and I keep thinking, oh, I just need to go ahead and rewrite it. And the longer I sit on it, the more I'm like, I need to just rewrite it. So cute. That might come down the pike. I'm not even gonna lie. That might actually happen. I've been so adamant about not, for obvious, like for real reasons, like genuine reasons, but now it's just like, but I keep thinking about it, and I feel like I could definitely do, like it's bothering me at this point that it's not where it needs to be, like where it could be. Like I possess the ability to change it, and so like I'm just not, out of spite. Anyway, we're gonna have to come back to that. I don't know if I rewrite this vlog, if I double back down on my commitment to leave it. I don't know. But I am like trying to move past it by getting into Act 2 finally. So I'm rereading for about the 34th time, trying to get back in the zone of like, what was I trying to do, and have a little bit more of a game plan. What are things that can change? What can we do to spice Act 2 up and make it better, right? Just like story-wise, plot-wise, character-wise. Currently, I don't have any ideas because I'm still trying to remember what the general direction of Act 2 is at this point, and like where my head was at when I was writing it back in November, I think is what it will be, or what it was. As promised, the past couple days have spent world building. And I think I finally figured some stuff out. I kind of realized that I answered a lot of these questions sort of indirectly, but like I've got 1 page, a little bit of the back, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, and then 5. It's all brain dump, basically. So when I get an idea that I like, or something that that's gonna be like canon, I put it in my world building Bible. So there's a couple things specifically from this page that has gone in a character profile and all kinds of stuff. So things are looking good. I think I've kind of solved a little bit of the stuff that plot things. I think I've solved some issues. So that's good. I think at this point it's just gonna be putting it on the page and making it believable, making it real. What I'm struggling with is like there's so many like character interactions where like they are supposed to receive the information that gets them to the next step. And like, I don't know how that flows, like if it makes sense. Cause like kind of out of the blue, we're in Act 2 and it's like Ghost and Isleen have this realization of like who they need to speak to next. And it's not really based on anything that happened previously, not directly. Like they're just, like they come off of a failed mission. So it's like they're grasping at straws again. And I wonder if I can tweak that conversation a little bit more to give them just a little bit more of a push into the direction that they end up going, because otherwise it just feels really random. So I'm trying to think of the glue that will attach those 2 beats, but like I don't know. I think that's the next thing that I really need to figure out, but that's less world building and more plot. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that yet, but I kind of just want to keep going, you know, and like let that simmer, let my brain think about it for a little bit before I've like decided on something. And you want to know what comes up again is book 1. So many things about like Ghost and the smugglers came up, and I was like, this is stuff for book 1. Do I just go back and rewrite book 1 again? This is what I mean by book 1 doesn't want to die. It just wants to live forever, rent free in my brain, taking up freaking space. Anyway, so that's kind of the update. Let's see, how many chapters of Act 2 have been written? 21. So technically, I've written the beginning half of Act 2, and I need the middle and end. I really like a lot of the dialogue that's in here. I have some stuff that has kind of slows down a little bit, like we get some character stuff. Like we've got a nightmare situation, and I have a love-hate relationship with nightmares and dreaming with characters specifically. Sometimes it's like pretty average, and it doesn't necessarily like reveal anything except for like what the characters are afraid of. I think it's a decent idea. I think there's some realism to this. Like Ghost specifically is dealing with a lot of baggage, and so his whole like lack of self-medicating at this point means that his dreams are kind of kicking up into high gear again. I'm not quite sure how to manifest some of his problems, because it's like a real thing that people deal with, and so it's like I don't want to like do that incorrectly, if you know what I mean. But like the result of his problems is like major issues, if that makes sense. Like the result of his trauma and experiences is some of this crap that I've got to somehow like make sure that I'm not doing odd things with, you know what I mean? Okay, like I'm good with dreams. I just feel like sometimes they slow things down a lot. I don't like dreams foreshadowing things. I think it's just a dead giveaway. I don't like it. So I prefer dreams to be like a symptom or like a character study, but not really a plot device. Does that make sense? Okay. So it slows down a little bit because it's not a plot device. I like this bit, but then like this whole thing does kind of slow down a bit because it's like a little bit of training, a little bit of preparation for what they're about to go into. And it's kind of important. Like some things really don't make sense without it. Okay. And then I have Project Comet. Now this, I wonder if I need to cut this entire sequence out or just rearrange how things happen. I don't know. Realistically, Isleen should be preparing for Summit, but that opens up another can of worms because they've hit a dead end. I don't know. This is just more thinking. So I don't know what to do with Project Comet right now. And I probably should put an asterisk because this is an opportunity to do some stuff, but it's like, do I like it? Is it needed? Does it make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing that could happen in the plot to make things cool and exciting and like you want to read it, but also how important is it? How relevant? I don't know. Maybe I can swap Comet out for something else, and that's what I'm not exactly sure of. Like, we can just talk about it. And like, honestly, Charlotte can just invite her to the thing. Like, that does not have to be her. So many things. An overhaul edit draft is just craziness. So many pieces and parts flying in all directions. It's really great, but oh my god, is it a mess. So I don't know. I think I want to, let me highlight this for like complete and utter in the air. Let's do you. We don't know what to do with you. Let's do pink. That's a pretty short chapter. Ghost's storyline in this section of Act 2 makes a lot of sense. Isleen's not so much. They do a bit of a split, and so he's acting separately over here, and then she has a separate thing that needs to happen over here. And like, what's Isleen doing? Character arc wise, I've been like, okay, it'll be like another failure mission, right? But maybe it needs to not be a total failure. Yeah, I've just talked for like 15 minutes. I don't know how much of this footage is even usable. I think I'm ready to try and dive back into Act 2, figure out what the heck I'm doing. I think a focus of this will need to be decide what's going on with Isleen's storyline, because Ghost makes sense, but Isleen needs an overhaul. That is what I think I'm gonna do. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I think I'm gonna read ahead from draft 1 and see what I did have, look at my outline, things like that, and then I think it'll be some more writing on a notepad to figure out what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. Because honestly, I don't know. I don't have a freaking clue. Like, I know it needs to change, I just don't have an idea for how to yet. This is stuff. This is the things that drive me ape, but like are so fun, but like take so much work. Okay, I'll get back to you guys at some point. Okay, bye. Okay, so this clip was just going to be B-roll, but I figure I might as well let you know what I'm up to. So now that I've gotten a good bit of, like, I've kind of just skimmed, read the chapters that I wrote from draft 1 and what I have so far for draft 2, I think I have a game plan, and I need to rearrange the order of some of these. And also there's some crucial information that I need to add into some of these chapters. So I'm not exactly sure if I want to go through and do a map of sticky notes. I'm actually kind of thinking that that's what I want to do. And I want to put it on this wall right here. I'm just going to map out Act 2 that way because actually it's quite a few pieces of information and moving parts. And so there are things that happen in certain chapters now that need to move and happen in different chapters and in a different order and some different revelations. So I'm feeling actually pretty excited about this because I think I finally have something that will make Isleen's storyline in Act 2 make more sense and be more interesting. And I have some major-ish adjustments to make to Ghost's storyline in Act 2. As it stands now, he ends up blowing something up, because of course there's an explosion. It's me. What are we talking about, guys? He ends up blowing something up as of now at the end of Act 2, and I'm not sure if that needs to happen anymore. So I kind of need to do a little bit of rethinking around that. But I think that as of now, I just need to get Isleen's stuff set up chronologically, move those chapters around, and then I'll figure out the heck he does after and if I need to change it. I still have some more thinking to do on that. So I'm gonna have a think. Also, you're sitting on top of a map of clues for Isleen to discover for her storyline. I have to be a little bit more intentional in this current draft, like what information she knows and when, because that propels her throughout the whole debacle. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. I love sticky note wall. So you get to see finally a sticky note wall. This will be like the first time in a long time that I've had a sticky note wall for this particular book. I think last time I had a sticky note wall for this book, it was an outline. Anyway, that's enough yapping. I'm gonna do it now. Okay, bye.
Hello, I thought I'd do a little bit of an interlude. This is future Carrie. Hey, don't mind the pimple stuff on my eyebrow. I'm editing this video and it is currently 49 minutes and 13 seconds. I am halfway through the footage that I've filmed over the past several days. So either this is about to get cut down a lot or I'm going to use this clip to sign off here because I never did film anything saying see you in the next one. So that's what this is. I hope you guys had a lovely week of writing. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Adios amigos. Bye.